Because Drift actually, I don't think, I think Drift might have been released really after Fast and the Furious. It was made previously and it might have a stamp on it that says 2000, whereas Fast and the Furious I think says 2001.
Yeah.
But I think people saw Drift after. It came to like, it was released at like the Laemmle theaters, you know, and that's it, and probably DVD.
Yeah.
You know, it was a point where I was doing a lot of guest stars, you know, and here this role was kind of a good friend of mine, John Cho, was like, you know, here's a film that you might want to look at. You know, Quentin talked to me about it, but you might want to look at it because it's your vulnerability. And we had done a show called FOB together. And he knows I like pretty deep roles. And John's a funny guy. And he was like, I don't know that this is me. And I read it and I was like, you know what? I really like where this character could go. And I'm always playing bad guys. And I like the depth of this character. You know what I mean? And so I talked to Quentin about it, and I thought, you know what, I like, especially the way he was intending to shoot this was very minimalist. You know, it was literally an experiment in using a mini DV camera. So we shot it very intimately, very personally, and I loved it. You know, I loved that I could kind of let go and not feel like the camera was there. And when I can delve into a character or a life situation and feel it, I think that that's kind of what we all want to do. I mean, eventually, I mean, this is kind of why we do this in the first place. And so, even up to now, that's one experience in filmmaking and making a film and acting on film that I can say was one of my most, I'd say, deep experiences, profound experiences, most enjoyable characters to play, as sadomasochistic as that sounds, you know what I mean? Because here's a guy going through a breakup and finding his life and all that kind of mumbo jumbo that is not mumbo jumbo. It's what happens in real life, you know? So I up to now, it's one of the deepest experiences I've ever had. Exactly. The bad guys became the good guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of why, you know, the first season was I was addicted to the show.
Yeah.
So when I got it, I was like, wow, this is going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, and initially I think my character was supposed to be a five episode arc. And it just caught on with the audience in terms of having someone that was an antagonist, which was really in real life, you're right, is not an antagonist. He's actually out there to get them. But he does it in a way that is so... you know, they told me to treat him as if he was customer service, and he was doing everything with a smile.
How funny.
You know, and I think people with power are kind of like that. You know, people that have power don't really need to talk too much.
Yeah.
And it just carried on. You know, but it was fun. I mean, I have fun with all these roles.